Hello, MGTOW. Hello, MGTOW. Go your own way. Just waiting on Joey Aragon to stop on in, and we're going to talk a little about MGTOW today. And let's see who's in. He's in the chat. Okay, Joey's in the chat. Oh, you can tell me you want to come in. Oh, I just sent it to your last. I could put it up here, I suppose. There you go. It'll be easier if I put it up there. There it is. And you can come on in anytime you want. And I was just playing with all the new buttons. We got new buttons here. They put music. Some of it's really lame. It's it's background music. It's background music, I guess. I'll wait for all the guys to show up and come on in, and I'll let Joey in. And I guess today's topic is just not stressing it. How is my sound out there? If anybody's in, how is my? I can always check and see if I go live. There we go. My sound seems not to be working. Oh, there it is. There we go. My sound seems not to be working, but it is. Oh, there it is. There we go. That does not sound good. You know what it sounds like? But it is. It sounds like I'm on the wrong I have to check.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live. I have to check my sound, see where it's coming from. It says it's coming from my Yeti, but it doesn't sound like it's coming from my microphone, does it?
It sounds good now. I hear you fine. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, there you go. You're moving your phone around.
Yeah. What's going on?
You got a little wind going.
Oh, I know. Shit. Yeah. I'm outside. I'm riding my bike.
Okay. Oh, you're on your bike. Okay.
Yeah. Let me see if I can get something. Well, it's going to be windy here. Why, is it really bad? Is it really bad? Or?
Yeah, it's really bad.
Ah, darn it. All right. Let me try to get to a better spot. Better spot.
Yeah, just I'll mute you for a minute. Okay, mute yourself. Yeah, there you go. I guess Joey's out riding on his bike right now. Hello, Wookie. Hello, Joey. Hello, people that are coming in. And it's hey, traffic. And starting up sometimes is a problem. So we'll see how that goes. He's got to find a shelter or something to put his bike under so he can talk, and we can. Oh, that'd be. Hey, Dave, what's up? Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Okay. 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 I'll leave the door open for you. Okay. And I'll talk to you then. See ya. Okay. Isn't that like life? Everybody wants to join in when we begin a podcast. Okay, so today's topic is I'm just waiting for people to come. Hello, Smurf. Hello, AP5503. It takes a little while to get people in. I don't know how to do that to, YouTube doesn't put it out till I start it. And that's just a problem. And I got to do that and figure out how to do that. So we're just waiting for Joey to find some shelter from the wind. And then let me get back to okay, got that. And there we go. So today's topic is don't stress it. Don't stress it is probably important. It's one of the things in MGTOW that we kind of strive for. Uh, we rarely talk about stress, and we rarely talk about when you're in those family situations, you're totally stressed. Most of the time, everything's put on you. Everything's on your back. You got to be Johnny on the spot and make it happen. And that gets stressful sometimes. Most stress I got today is figuring out my son just called what we're going to have for dinner tomorrow. And for most of you guys, Easter is tomorrow, and happy Easter to each one of you if you believe in that. It is Easter tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah. Happy Easter to each one of you if you believe in that. If you don't, and that would be something to express, or whether you believe, whether you don't believe, whether you have friends, and that's where it becomes all stressful and everything. Whether you have friends and family that want you to go to these events, as a MGTOW, you have to show up and just grab a beer, try to have fun. Whatever people believe, they believe, and you can't change that. Your beliefs are personal to you, but in kind of a way, they're not going to accept your beliefs on things such as your personal life. They want you to get married. They want you to settle down. They want you to have kids, 2.3 kids, and do that traditional living thing and pretend like you're having a happy life. But most of the time, that happy life is going to be a total stressful life. And as MGTOWs, we've done that. We've been there, done that, tried it, didn't work. It was a big lie. A lot of things were a big lie. And we realize that now, and your life's going to be much better just not stressing things, taking it easy, doing things the way you want to do it, the way it's comfortable for you as a MGTOW. And that seems to bother other people. So who's all in? Okay, we got 8 people watching now, and we got Joey Aragon's going to come in. We're going to talk about that, about the things that used to stress us out. What used to stress you guys out before you were dating? Probably dating used to stress me out too. And on a weekend like this, oh God, I got to go to the pre-chosen spot for Easter. And did you used to have to do that, Joey? Go to the pre-chosen spot for Easter?
Yeah, well, we always had it at my house growing up. My mother cooked and did all that.
Yeah.
We go to church, of course. My father went to church like two times a year, Easter and Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of funny seeing him.
Yeah.
Go to church just standing there like a deer in headlights.
Let me turn that down.
Can you hear me okay? Or I found a tunnel in the bike path.
You found a tunnel in the bike path. Cool.
Yeah, so it helps with the wind. It blocks all the wind.
Yeah. Sounds pretty good. You sound okay. You sound like you're. Sounds like you're.
Sounds like I'm in a tunnel.
No, it doesn't sound like it. Sounds like, it actually sounds really good with a little bit of the echo and the. It sounds like you're in a concert hall.
Yeah. It's a tunnel. It's perfect. But yeah, it was. The earliest recollection I have of Easter is like getting. I was like maybe 4 or 5 years old, and we had a really nice day, sunny day that spring, and just going with my father. I had like this red suit. My mother bought me like this red suit. It was like cool. It was like a maroon type color.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget that little suit. I wore it, and it was a lot of fun as a kid because they give you this chocolate Easter stuff and Easter bunny stuff, and I remember shooting hoops next door to my neighbor that day. It was just we had this one unbelievable Sunday. I'll never forget it.
Yeah, they put it together. There's lots of food and family and drinks and everything, and yet my family was rather large, so we always had these really large events for holidays. And,
it was fun. Those days just learning about the world. Like tomorrow, I have a couple. One of my friends is still Catholic. The other one's half Catholic, and I'm not Catholic. So we're all, we're still all going to get together and just have a nice meal.
Yeah. I was talking to my son earlier in the week, and I just kind of let him know, hey, you can go to church if you want. Just because I'm a heathen atheist doesn't mean that you can't go to church. And I was like, I'll go with you if you want, just to make you
Yeah.
comfortable. I'll
Yeah.
just I'll just sit and giggle, and I've done all this. I was born and raised a Catholic.
Yeah. Yeah.
That setting is not new to me.
I know. I've been both. I've been Catholic and Protestant in my life, and now I just I believe in the great mystery, however you want to call it. It's like I don't know what it is. I don't know what's out there. I know it's not. I don't believe in that anymore. But I like being Catholic better. I like being Catholic better. So
yeah. You know what I know? I know I don't know.
yeah, exactly. But I thought the Catholic Church had a little bit more community and was more
Right. There is something to be said about the community aspects and the communal aspects where you go meet people and talk, and you do those things that humans do need to do. We need to get out and talk to people once in a while, but I do that in my neighborhood, riding around on my bike. Everybody stops and talks to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you need that, and I would never take that away from, say, a war veteran or an old lady that has nobody left, and she goes to church, and that's where she finds her joy at. And I don't want to take that away from them. It's a fine line being an atheist. I'm not one of those born again atheists where I'm going to preach it at you.
Yeah. No, that's right. We don't tell people what to think, and try to encourage people to have freedom and power themselves. I think obviously MGTOW is the best way to do that. But
yeah, I can't remember what it's. He was trying to pull the Dad. It doesn't hurt anything.
yeah. Well, yeah, I like that topic. What is our topic again? What is it again? Our topic that you have up there?
Stress.
Yeah. I had a quote. I was talking to my buddy. I said, "Hey, whatever happened to this guy?" We went to high school together, so we go over the list of people. Like, what are they up to? What are they up to? And like this person, one of them overdosed or something. We had a few people overdose or something. And I said, man, I go, he made a big deal out of life, didn't he? Something along those lines. It's like, don't make a big, like Camus always says, the purpose of life is just to live it. You can't.
Yeah.
Sometimes you like, don't make a big deal out of things. Don't make, what I mean? It's like, I'm not trying to minimize people's pain and suffering, but I'm like everyone else. I've fallen behind on bills, and I've had situations come up with family trying to screw me, and lawyers screwing me, and job people, people at work trying to screw me, and but the thing is, don't let that stuff. It's almost like don't make a big deal out of those type of things, and just live your life. It's like, and that's one thing that's constant is you're always going to have issues in life. You're always going to have, you're not always going to have your ducks in a row. That's just the way it is. You do your best you can to minimize the damage, like we talk about harm reduction. But you have to know that going in, and you can have a less stressful life that way. Go ahead, sir.
I always took when this wasn't happening, I wouldn't worry about it attitude with things. So if there was something present in my life that was stressful, say a bill or something, I wasn't going to let that ruin the other 24 hours of the day, because that's not happening right now. When I need to pay that bill or I need to think about it, that's when I'll start stressing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give time for those things. Anything that anything that concerns me, I'll give time to it, but I'm not going to let them things screw the rest of the day or screw the rest of the week, or me stressing for months and months over something I can do nothing about at that moment. Because those things have time frames on them. They will present themselves in a timely manner.
Yeah, exactly. And then sometimes you get caught up in those things, and you know what you do. You stop living your life in the present, and you stop enjoying things.
You stop enjoying your life in the present.
Yeah.
I think that bill collectors and stuff would rather you think about it 24/7 and until they get their money and torture you about it. But you can't let them bill collectors torture you about something. Maybe you fell in a rear on something, and you can't let them torture you about that because they will steal the rest of your life from you.
Mm-hmm.
And over $53 or something.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah. My son was trying to. I was trying to think of that. My son was trying to pull Pascal's wager on me the other day.
Oh, okay. What happened?
With it doesn't hurt the decision whether you believe or not to believe. It can't hurt you if you do believe. It's Pascal said that it's like what could hurt you to believe.
Yeah,
But it can hurt you. You
right.
can get in situations. Well, you can get in situations where if you don't believe, they will hurt you.
Yeah, Pascal is full of shit. That's pretty much what it comes down to. Yeah,
Yeah,
because right, it hurts you to believe their way because that's a control. That's a
yeah,
control.
that's an area of control.
Political correctness or whatever you want to call it. They're trying to get you to think a
Right,
certain way.
right. In a way, it can hurt you. They're going to ask things of you. They're gonna ask you to believe in things that are either really bizarre or just not true, and that hurts your whole psyche. That hurts. If you fall for one thing, you'll fall for everything.
Mhm.
And the way we look at the world, and that's traditionalism and it's at its finest. Once they got you, they'll ask you to believe in their candidate, their person, their way of living, who you vote for, what everything you believe in, and that I do think that does hurt you in a way. You never experience independence.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But yeah, I like that low stress living. I think it's great. Like
Yeah,
not phone call. Like specific like things like not returning phone calls. That's a you know
right. Yeah,
just go a weekend. Just shut your phone off for the whole weekend.
yeah.
I'm planning a trip out to I'll just say Reno,
Real.
or Huntington Beach, whatever. And I'm just gonna go. I don't tell anybody I'm going. I don't have to tell my roommate. I have a roommate now, which is going okay. But the thing is, like I'm not gonna tell him I'm going and shut my phone off. It's none of his business. It's like it's my life. I'll do what I want. And
I'll be back in a couple hours, honey.
yeah, I'm gonna go get the milk and eggs. And there's smart guys that do that, right? They're like, honey, I'm gonna go get some milk and eggs and never come back.
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, you do things like that every now and then. You should do things like that for yourself. Just shut the phone off and just take off for a weekend and don't bother answering. Take a 4-day weekend and go in the woods, get your bike or whatever. What I mean? And
Yeah.
just do those type of things and because that's a good way to live. Because you shouldn't have to feel obligated to return every phone call or answer every phone call or every text. And that's insane. People are enslaved to their cell phones these days.
Right.
And that's a codependency. They need to learn that there's a better way to live. You don't have to be addicted to your cell phone or whatever. And my roommate now, he busts my chops because I don't have a TV. I don't like TV. I don't have a TV. I'm like, hey man, you want to get a TV? You're on your own. You buy it yourself. I'm not buying it.
If you want TV, you can get cable with that too, if you want.
Yeah, I had a $2,000 Sony TV, big screen. I said I gave it to my cousin. I gave it to my cousin. I said I don't watch it anymore. It's like I'm not into it. I'm not enslaved, but I don't sit in front of a TV. I ride my bike. I go out and do stuff.
Yeah.
In nature,
Yeah, right.
But
Getting out, that's good. That itself just reduces so much stress for me. I get out,
yeah,
start pedaling. Sometimes I get to the bottom of the driveway. I don't know which way I want to go. It's like if I go up to head toward the park, it's like, hey, I could do it. But it's whatever way I go, I'm sure it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, just have fun living your life. That's again the purpose of life is just to live it. It's not that you don't have to have $25 million when you die. It's like who gives a crap? The people. The best thing you can give people that are leaving behind is just give them knowledge and information to live a better life. It's not money. People think, oh, I'm gonna leave all this money to my family and all this kind of stuff, and like nobody cares. They don't even care, and they're not even appreciative. Like my sisters, they were not appreciative of what my parents left behind. My sister stole most of it from me.
Yeah.
She stole most of my money, my inheritance, so she stole it. So you know, I don't know why people worry about that type of stuff, but if you have families, but as a MGTOW, it's like, hey, go on and live your life. You don't have to, because what they want us to do is they want us to be ashamed for not getting married and be ashamed for not having a family. I see that a lot, at least in Italian culture.
Right.
You're kind of like, you're considered like a weirdo in some ways because you don't have a family. Where's your family? Oh, you wasted your life. You wasted your life, Tony. You wasted your life.
Your life. Yeah.
That's what they used to tell me. Where's their wife and the kids? What are you gonna? Because my cousins, they all get married, and once they got married, it's like, oh, well, when you having your first child? And then they get the first child, it's like, oh, when you having the second child? Yeah, the second child. When you having the third child? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, you want a stress-free life or whatever, just do your MGTOW and do your thing. Don't be like you used to answer the phone, and we talk about this a lot. But remember, you used to always answer the phone. And what do you need? What do you need?
What do you need?
What do you need? Yeah, I have a friend like that. He's always doing that, and I'm like, dude, you got to relax. You're in your late 40s now. You can't be doing this kind of stuff. You're gonna have a heart attack. So spend the day for yourself. You don't have to do everything for everybody. Anyway.
Yeah, even that thing when I remember being married, spending a day going out or something. It was spending a day not by myself. It was spending a day taking care of 4 other people and making sure they were happy, making sure they had been fed, making sure that everything was perfect in the environment that I was taking them to and everything like that. And that itself was stressful. I never got a day off.
Oh man, I can't imagine. I told my friend today because he's my age. He had one woman. He had a kid with the woman. He said he cost him. So one child, right, cost him $270,000 over the lifetime. Like he had to pay for child support. Yeah. But anyway, I told him today. I said, "Say, man, aren't you thankful that you have no wife and children? I got the whole day to myself." I was telling him, I said, "So you should give thanks for having that opportunity every day. Is that you just have to, handle your own business, and then you're free for all this time. Imagine having a wife and 3 children. You're trapped. You can't go anywhere. I can't take those trips to California when I want to. Yeah. Or Reno when I want to take a 4-day weekend. I can't do that right away. I have to ask permission. Can I do this? Or what are the kids doing or whatever,
Yeah. Oh no, that won't happen if you're married. You plan around the family and everything, and you have family outings, and that's sort of like the Easter thing. The Easter thing is a family outing, and you have to take care of all that things.
Hi. Good. Oh, sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Somebody. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Someone's in your tunnel.
Yeah, somebody came in the tunnel.
Yeah. This is my tunnel.
Yeah. It's a little windy in here now. It's starting to get a little windy. I don't know if you can hear it, but go ahead. What were you saying? Sorry.
Yeah, I was saying all those things become your problem, and it sucks the day away, worrying about everything and everybody, and making sure you become the entertainment. You become the entertainment guide. You have to make sure everything goes right, or else that day sucked, and you suck. Those things get attached to you too. Those failures you have. Like you plan a trip to Disney World and it doesn't work out all that great, and them become the marks on you did that.
Yeah, it's like Chevy Chase and National Lampoon's Vacation. He's like he's like this big idiot. Meanwhile, he's the one paying for everything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's good stuff about that whole story about the National Lampoon. He was trying to do something good and things weren't working out, but it comes back that he was the idiot. He made this happen, and he really didn't make it happen. Life circumstance made it happen.
Yeah, exactly. I can't hate that.
But you will take that heat for the way the world turns and the weather. You'll take the heat for the weather. You'll take the heat for everything, and that's just part of being a man. And then, And then that thing where we were talking about, comes around where you're just not good enough. You'll never be good enough. These things happen.
Yeah, but you know who is good enough is Sarah Jessica Parker.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
She's a 10, even though she looks like Dee Snider in Twisted Sister.
Yeah.
she's still a 10, and you're not in her league because you're only a 5.
Yeah. What was that movie we were talking about earlier with?
She's not in your league.
she's not in your league. Yeah, she's not. He was a 5, and she was a or perceived a 10. So you got to put her up on that pedestal and make her happy 24/7.
Right.
Become that little monkey with the symbols.
God, it's just awful how inversion, right? The culture just inverts everything.
Yeah.
Like the men are the one. We're the strong ones. We're the ones providing. We're the ones making like you said, those buildings behind you. We're the ones building those things and coming up with the ideas and the game plan. Yeah. Doing not only the labor but also the planning and creativity. And then the culture thinks women are the prize. Women are the 10.
You're holding up the moon on your back. Who is it? Atlas? You're holding up the world on your back. And,
yeah.
And everything, she gets credit for everything. She gets everything, It's like, ooh, her wonderful feat was walking in.
Yeah. Well, and then like again, like being a MGTOW, everyone thinks we wasted our lives. Like we wasted our lives because we didn't slave for them. We didn't slave right project. We didn't slave right.
Yeah, why didn't you slave right, Joey?
Yeah.
You could be the best slave if you want to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm the best slave.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I give thanks every day. Like I said, those are the aces. The pocket aces are when you know that you kind of beat the system, because they try to enslave you, and now you beat the system, and you can do whatever you want. Like I can go anywhere I want. Like any day I can,
Now we could look into like the philosophy of that. Nietzsche gave us a perfect transvaluation of value, and even though you're the one doing everything, you're the one holding it up, you get all the blame, and you're the one trying, and everything seems to be inverted in life, and there's a transvaluation of value in those things. Christians do that a lot.
Yeah. It's I was thinking about Christianity the other day. I was just it's really bad, huh? It's like really the rituals and the whole thing about I was talking about Jesus would pay on to Caesar what is Caesar. Like Jesus was a righteous man, but he always reminded people to pay your taxes.
You get that somehow in the book, because pay your taxes.
That just cracks me up. That whole thing, Jesus was pro-government, and there's always that was added in, right? Because they took all these ancient texts, and then they came up with the Bible, and then but the people that kind of revised the Bible just made sure that they put it in there to obey your government and pay your taxes,
Right. I think that was Paul. Paul's an interesting character within the scheme of the Bible because Paul shows up 200 years after Jesus is dead.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's writing about the Bible and he puts in about paying your taxes. But you know what Paul was? You know what Paul's job was?
He was a tent maker.
Yeah, he was the guy that to take care of the Christians for the king.
Yeah, he made tent. Well, he's a tent maker.
Yeah.
He so that was a big industry back then, making these tents, so it was like housing pretty much, right?
Yeah. So
he was a real estate guy. He was a real estate developer. Pretty much.
He was a real estate developer.
Yeah, making these tents. Tent maker, which is a big business back then, right? Because it was a cheap way to have shelter.
Yeah, that always kind of fucked me up. I would render on to Caesar what is Caesar's. What is Caesar's?
Of course.
Is this Caesar's? No. Is my money his? No.
Yeah.
The only reason you would need to give someone your money, your taxes, if you believe that was theirs.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you believe that your money is theirs?
Yeah.
I thought that's the stupidest.
I remember watching this document. It was like a Christian because when I was a gung ho born again Christian. I was watching this Billy Graham special, and this kid is like, he's like a, I don't know, like teenager, like late teenager, and he like rebels against the church or system, and they made it into oh, he's gone astray. You know, he's gone astray. He's rebelled again. He essentially almost went like MGTOW, this guy.
He went
But
big
his
time.
father like reels him in, like, oh, he was once lost and now he's found. And his father's like, and the son's like telling him, you know, this corporation, they're dumping like all this illegal waste into the river. And his father goes, his father was the Christian guy, and he goes, son, that corporation provides a lot of jobs for the community. They do good. Because come back to Christianity, and then he does. He comes back to Christianity. And I was like saying to myself, well, what's going on here? This doesn't even seem right. You know, the whole thing was just really odd.
Right. Yeah. But I believe that during the time where he went away from, they exiled him, didn't they? Things got better. Okay, you can come back and be part of the community and the family.
Yeah.
What they're talking about is the community. We'll take you back in and exile you.
Yeah.
If you just believe what we believe.
Yeah.
Now that passage, it still bothers me. Render unto Caesar. It should be read, render unto Caesar what he thinks is his.
Yeah. Exactly. It's not his it's not his to begin with.
Yeah, it's not his to begin with. But if he thinks it's his, you got to give it to him and just.
Yeah, and that goes back to that Walden by Thoreau. You know, that whole concept of housing,
right?
You know, and how they set up these housing structures and that's how they enslave people. You know, it's like
that's how they enslave people. They think
they can pay taxes.
The counties think that a portion of your property is theirs, and they can tax you on it, and that's rent you pay to them because you have to render onto them what they think is theirs.
Yeah.
It's really anti-Christian. It's a transvaluation of those things, because if you were a true faithful believer in honesty and everything, you would say, no, you cannot steal from me. Mm-hmm. I'm going to fight you right now. We'll take care of that right now, and we'll get this over with. But they want subservient people. They want people that are like, yes, master, I will give you a portion of my pays.
I know. Isn't it crazy? What a crazy system. What a crazy system, you know. It's like,
yeah, that's the system we live in. We live under this Roman Catholic system or religious system, whatever it's become, Baptist or the system of religion that says you should just be subservient to the state and they can take what they want.
Right.
And that's wrong. It's wrong. It's total wrong. Everybody knows it's wrong.
Yep, that's why you got to trick the trickster, Joe. I like that term, tricking the trickster. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like if you're on a job, like, right, and they're busting your ass. Well, you know what? Cut corners, man. You see a spot where 2 to 4, you know, you can screw around for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Boss doesn't know about it. Hey, you take it. You do it, because you're never good enough. You know, it's like that whole concept. You're never good enough. You know, they're always going to try to get more out of you, and they're never going to stop. You think, oh, I did a great job and I did this, and you know, but it's not enough. They're always going to try to get more and more and more. That's what, like you said, the rich people, they're always trying to get more and more and more. And they feed the poor people hope, which doesn't cost a penny.
Right. I was wondering if that's a mortgage. Mortgage means death plague.
It does.
Yeah, I was going to look up the etymology of that. If someone,
yeah. Oh, a mortgage is. That's the worst thing I did, Joe, is buy a house. I hate to say it. Now I have equity and whatever, but it's still a bad play, because I would have made a lot more money in other investments, particularly if I started my own business. I could have started a real estate business, insurance business. I could have done a lot of different things with that money instead of dumping it into, you know, I put $80,000 down on a house, you know, almost 20 years ago. That $80,000, you know, I could have done a lot more with it than buy a stupid house, you know. Especially as a MGTOW, you don't need a house. I just need a room that's quiet and a bed, and that's it. A lamp. You know, that's all I need.
Yeah, I guess that would mean death plague, because mortem, mortem would mean death, and then in Latin, so mortgage is
even corporation. Even the word corporation. Look up where the origin of that, with corpse and corporation.
Corporation, yeah.
Yeah, they you know, they set up the system to screw us, but you know, we kind of trick. That's what MGTOW to me is more than anything. It's tricking the trickster. You know, we're like, no, we're not going to put up with your crap. Like I was talking to my friend today. I'm like, we were talking about, you know, what happens with the child support. I said, you better off just taking the hit and going to jail. What are they going to do? Just work under the table as a bartender or whatever, a bar bag, whatever, just, labor guy, whatever you would work under the table. There's so many cash business opportunities, landscaping, whatever you want. There's a lot of ways you can get around it. And then you just, that's the best way to go, I think. Just go to jail. Go to jail. Don't give in. All these men give in. It's like when you sign. That's why I always tell people: be careful what you sign. Be careful what you sign. You don't have to sign off, because when you sign that paper, they can legally go after you. But if you're not signing anything, they don't have any leverage. They can't go after you, really.
Right. We watched one of the MGTOWs go through a separated divorce and a separation a few years ago, and then all he did was sign off on what she wanted. And what's the guy, Mike W? You turn me on to Mike W. On he'll go over all that stuff. You just say no. You have no right to. I'm not signing nothing, and you have no right to make me sign it. I'm not.
I don't know. No, it wasn't me. What's his name? Mike W.
Mike W. Yeah, Mike W. on YouTube.
Okay. Okay.
I'll have to check all the ins and outs of divorce and interesting facts he gives you during those processes that you just don't. And like I said, do not volunteer any information. Do not give him anything. Do not sign nothing. Do not just say no. This is unconstitutional. You can't do this to me, and I'm not. No.
Yeah. And the best thing is with unsecured debt. You have to know, like, unsecured debt, like credit cards. The only thing they could do is ruin your credit.
Yeah.
They can't. They legally they can't go after you. They can't go after you because it's unsecured debt. They can't do anything. All they can do is ruin your credit. Right. So I think when you get to retirement, here's a good strategy for anybody. Once you get into retirement, and let's say you liquidate all your assets, which is not a bad idea. But as a MGTOW, speak as a MGTOW, you can liquidate all your assets, run up as much unsecured debt as you can, and just don't even pay them. Like, who cares? That's part of their business plan is they're gonna absorb those losses through increasing interest rates and whatever. So, when you're older, who cares? Who cares about your credit when you're about to die? Who cares?
This guy says going to jail is horrible advice. I would say you have to think about that. If you're a 20-year-old guy and you've been married, like a 24-year-old, maybe you've been married a couple years, she's got a couple, there's incidents there. This is going to ruin the next, 20 years, 30 years of your life. She wants alimony and stuff. The way the system works out, first thing you're going to do is take your license, and then they're going to send you to jail. You're going to go to jail. You're going to get a year. You're going to get 6 months. You're going to go for the second one, and then that which is the felony, and then they're going to give you the felony, and then it's going to be like 2 years in jail, and you just take the jail time. So you're going to spend about a year and a month in jail at that. If they keep you that long, they probably won't keep you that long. And then you get the rest of your life, because after that point, they cannot do nothing. They can't prosecute you anymore. And I had a friend that went through this whole process, and he just kept saying no. And he went to jail for all in all about 7 months. And after that, his rest of his life was his. And that's just giving the MGTOW no. And if you're 20 years old and then you're 22, you have the rest of your life and you don't have to be a slave to nobody, I would suggest that course.
Yeah, had to go sit on the bench. Yeah, my buddy, $270,000, Joe.
$270,000. Yeah,
he paid $270,000 one child because it was like pretty much. I don't know what it comes down to. Since he was 18, he says it's more when he's like ages 0 to 5. It's more money. He was telling me, and then, but think about it, that's $270. But when you factor in opportunity cost and what he could have done investing that money, it's closer to $500,000. Really,
Right, your arrears are absolved when you go to jail. They can't do nothing after that.
Yeah, he goes to jail. He would have been better off, because now his meals are paid for. He's got a place. He's got no rent. No, that guy's wrong. It's like, assuming you can take care of yourself. I think the jails that they bring people that don't pay child support are a lot more, civil.
If you're a young guy and you could take that, and there's something about being a transcendentalist, like you make them pay instead of them making you pay. And keeping you in jail costs money.
Yeah, you got to think about every single angle. Tricking the trickster. It goes back to tricking the trickster. You know, you got to trick the trickster. They're trying to trick us. You use their own laws against them. You use their own. You know what I'm saying?
Use their laws against them. Right.
Sure. You got to use their own. They're trying to trick you. Like these lawyers, they squeezed me for a little bit of money, but you know, it wasn't a ton of money. But that kind of pissed me off. I took a shot. I like to see what's going on. So that I'm kind of pissed off about that. But I tell you though, those lawyers are son of a bitches, man. You gotta don't get involved with the lawyers. It's like I remember I had a situation with my house. Like I was trying to sell this house. I had a couple people involved, and the lady at the court was like, "You have to get a lawyer." And no, I didn't. No, I don't. These people in authority, we talked about last week, the authority figures. You don't have to do. Don't be that person that's going to do whatever an authority figure tells you to do. Don't be that person. Your first reaction. First of all, they're trying to do what's in their best interest, not yours. You have to understand that right away.
The courts and divorce courts, especially, the best advice I was given was not get a lawyer. Don't go to jail. Don't. Whatever they ask you, say that you should know that, or that's none of your business, and just be totally nihilistic with them, and that's what I did, and because it's the lawyer's job is to run the cost up, and once you don't have that lawyer, it's like there's only certain things a judge can do. The law is set in stone anyways, and then he's going to say with this, and you just nope, I don't give no information to you. This is in my situation, I said, this is slavery, and I don't bow down to anybody for slavery. And if you want to, go ahead and do what you think you have to do under your Christian religious laws. But no, that's not me. I'm not a slave. And that's what I would tell him. I'm not the slave. Do I look like that guy?
Yeah. Well, and that leads into another thing. I was going to like never pay if a lawyer sends you a bill, just throw it in the trash.
Yeah, throw it in the trash. And
throw it in the trash. Yeah, throw it in the
muscle after you.
Right.
Yeah. That's what. Okay. You guys are gonna screw with my life. I can screw with your life too. Remember that, and let them know that I can screw with your life. We want to go down this route with me? I'm very good at it.
And that goes for anybody, anyone you owe debts to. It's like I mean, obviously, if you have equity in your house, you should try to get that current because you have equity. You should sell it if you can't afford it. But like I'm just saying in general, like if you owe people money, like I try to do everything I can. Like if it's a street bill, I pay it because it's a friend, whatever. But even then, they have to. If I don't have the money, I don't have it. I'll pay you when I have it. I don't put myself in those situations like I did when I was younger. But if you're in a situation where you owe someone money, you just pay. You don't. It's their job to get the money from you. Don't be like a sucker and just pay every single bill on time. Especially if you don't have the money. Especially if you're in a situation like you got to put food on your table first. You got to do those things first. Take care of your necessities. Take care of yourself first. The excess money you have and stuff. Yeah, okay, maybe if you want to pay some bills here and there. But the reason why that's important is because you got to understand you have to empower yourself. You have to empower yourself. You can't let people just continually take advantage of you and take your money and I had this one bill. It was like I don't know. I think it was $4,000 or $5,000, and it was unsecured debt, and I hadn't paid it and whatever, and they stopped. The next thing you know, I got another bill from them out of nowhere. Like it was like 3 years later, and I just ripped it up. It was no big deal. But they're always trying to like get you to do stuff that's not, legal, and they have no right, and they're trying to create this like authority that they have right. They have they can overpower you, which is what they do with religion.
They'll use force on you, but
nothing's gonna happen. Like I had an IRS bill. And they're like, I mean, they threaten me with like a lien. I'm like, go ahead, dude. I don't care. Do a lien. Like, I don't care. I worked it out with them where I just send them a little payment every month. I mean, I could pay them, but I'm just going to pay them a little every month. I'm not, I set up an installment with them. But the thing with them is like, just don't sign. Like, don't sign. Like when you sign something, they have authority. Now you've given them authority. So I look back on my life. That's the one thing I think that's real important is just be careful what you sign. You're crying out loud. Don't put your signature consult with people.
you author it and you give them authority. And
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. You have to be really careful with that. And obviously, the worst entanglement of all time is marriage. Like you said, I think did you break down the math where 98% of marriages will 90% fail within 5 years, or what is it?
Right.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
92% of males marriages fail.
Yeah. Well, and that goes back to the system we're talking about, where you have this priest or this pastor. He's outstanding. He's a person that you respect, who's young, and you're a teenager in your 20s, or hey, this is a guy I respect, and he's telling me this is good. You go after this, and it's a great life. You have a family, and then you find out they just let you down. They just let you down. They lied to you.
It's a racket. It's more government racketeering. The whole child and family service is just government racketeering. They're involved with something they shouldn't be involved with, from the marriages to the divorces to family courts, it's all government racketeering.
Yeah, and it's sad because when you're younger, you should
money from it.
Well, it's sad because when you're younger, like I was in the Bible study, I was running the Bible study when I was 25, and I had these pastor guys that are 20, 30 years old, and I really respected them, and they were good guys. But in a lot of ways, they didn't do the introspection. They were just fooling themselves, and they still believe that. Even now, as I've gotten older, I realize that was a mistake trusting these people, because they're not really smart. They're just following people that taught them when they were younger. And you got to break that cycle and realize that these authority figures, like I said, they don't have your best interest in mind. They might put on an act that they do, but they really don't.
Right, and this is why we need men's rights so desperately, and we need stronger men's rights. We need men to act like men about this, and it's got to stop eventually. We have a perfectly good system in place in America, where we pay taxes on commerce, and that tax on commerce goes towards the poor, and the poor in this case would be females with babies. And they're supposed to be taken care of in your taxes. When they charge you child support, they're double taxing you.
Yeah.
And you've already paid those taxes through your income tax, and that's the job they're supposed to be doing, taking care of the poor. But in the government, they see other things as more important, like their funds, and their election funds, and their wars, and their little projects where they pay out themselves money and make money off your tax. By the time you get to that job, people who actually need
it. Yeah, well, you got to pay for Claire's beauty supplies too,
Yeah, you're winning.
Oh, it's getting bad now. Shit. Yeah, I left the tunnel because I thought, who's that creepy guy in the tunnel? But it's better now, right? The wind stopped gusting a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if you can put your phone in your pocket. Do you have a mic?
Oh, when you talk, I'll just mute, I guess.
Okay.
I'll do it that way. Yeah, no, I have a headphones too. Headphones are on.
Okay.
Well, it's really bad, huh? It's slowing down now. The wind's slowing down a little bit now.
Okay, yeah, I bought these things. I don't know if they actually work for the.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot to learn, man. It's like they just try to play us, they're always trying to play us and get us to do things that are not. That's really what it comes down to: getting us to do things that are not in our best interest. Marriage, having children, working overtime without getting paid.
Stuff like, oh yeah, they love that sort of stuff. The male utility is worth money. Yeah, but we need a strong MGTOW, and we need a strong men's rights, and we need a strong PUA, and we need a strong going Gulf area too, where we argue these things and we say no. We have to, because nobody else is going to do that, and unless we do it, it's not going to get argued. It's not going to get fought out, and they will keep taking your money. They'll take more and more and more, like they do. And they will keep doing that, and it's about freedom. It's about your freedom, and that's why we have these MGTOW. That's why we have men's rights, because we're not willing to give up our freedoms.
Yeah, we got the answers. That's for sure. Where we're at now. Can you hear the ducks? Oh shit. Can you hear the ducks?
You down by the?
The ducks are out tonight, boy.
Okay, you down by the?
At the park, yeah, I'm at the park. It's not too windy now. You can hear me right now, right? Yeah, it's not too windy now. It's slowing down a little bit. I'm going for my second bike ride. I went for one this morning too.
Okay, yeah.
My roommate's a great guy. He's just sometimes he starts betting sports and he gets a little crazy. I had to get the hell out of the house, man. These guys are nuts. Like every single basket, it's like, oh, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Like, dude, you've been betting for 30 years. It's like, don't you realize some bets win, some bets lose? Why are you torturing yourself with the sports betting? I mean, I used to bet $500,000 a game. Now I bet $5 and $10 a game.
Yeah.
Like, because I get too annoyed. I can't bet that much money anymore. My stomach can't take it. I'm getting older now. I'm eyeing retirement. I don't want to bet that kind of money. I don't have the advantages I used to have. I'm not stupid. I'm not going to piss my money away when I don't have an advantage. Yeah, that's how like my gambling mind is. Like, you look for advantages.
Yeah.
You look for opportunities and advantages, and you need information to make the best decision. And that's kind of like, I see MGTOW as like insider information. We have insider information on how to live life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's certain things we don't do, and that it leads to a less stressful life. And that stress will kill you too in the end if you go down that traditional route. There's a reason why men die earlier.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, the low stress. What's our title? Low stress. What is it again? A stress-free life. What's the title of our topic, Joe?
Yeah, I don't even. Oh, don't stress it, MGTOW.
Yeah, don't stress it. Yeah, exactly. Don't stress it. And the thing is, people are always going to try to rope you into their stress. They're trying to rope you into their drama. That's why I left the house today. My roommate was like starting to really piss me off. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to, what I'm saying? You want to complain about the games? Go do it. I don't care. I'm going to leave the house. I'm going to go for a drive. I'm going to, I like him. I've known the kid for 45 years. 40. We grew up a block apart, and like, he's a great guy, but it's like when he starts getting in that mood, I gotta leave the house. I don't care. I'm not putting up with it. I'm going to empower myself and change my environment. I don't need that drama. They're trying to rope us into that. They're just, it goes back to what I used to tell Jeff a lot. We used to talk about like the jealousy. Like people have jealousy towards MGTOW. Because I lived in the East Coast for 3 years. Then I go back to the West Coast for 5. Then I go back to the East Coast for 4. Then I go back to the West Coast. And they think I'm crazy, but I'm not. That's the lifestyle. That's what I like to do. I don't care. I don't have to it's none of their business. But I think what it is the reason why they're always like my family and friends are busting my balls about this kind of traveling is because they're jealous because they can't do it. Yeah. Because I have a teaching background as well. I could always revert to teaching. If I don't get a good sales job, I just teach. And I got so many options. Like I don't even worry about when I get older and not having money because it's not going to matter because I can just teach when I'm in 7. Like my friend, he's 65. He's getting screwed over because of age. Like these companies are not hiring him now. He's got 30 years experience.
Right.
But for me, I could teach when I'm in my 70s. Teach in the schools. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? And it goes back to the MGTOW thing, having those opportunities. Where if I wasn't a MGTOW, I wouldn't have the opportunity. I'd have to be set in one place. I don't know why I started talking here, but yeah, I mean, the point I'm trying to make is a stress-free life. How you can achieve that a lot faster as a MGTOW. When you have all these obligations, you're screwed.
Well, can you imagine when you're in that dating process and you had to look the right way, you had to have the right clothes, you had to impress the girl, and that stuff is also stressful. You get out of the date, you got to listen to that make polite but interesting conversation, and then present yourself the best way you possibly can, except for you can't present the true self. It could never, your true self could never stand up to somebody else presenting themselves as their fake selves. It was always so stressful. It's like we don't do those things, and just it's just for males. I think I was listening to Spetsnaz, one of Spetsnaz's. I can't remember the name of that one, or he did the unappreciated male. And everything we do, when you become MGTOW, it just takes all those burdens off you. You don't have to look a certain way. You don't have to feel a certain way. You don't do things that everybody wants you to do. You live your life the way you want to live it, and it usually works out pretty good because a natural sort of living is a healthy sort of living, and it lines up better with the true reality of the world too. And it goes easier. I used to say, used to give this line. I always felt like I was two cars back in traffic, and now I kind of feel when I'm driving or around riding my bike, I'm right where I'm supposed to be now. It's like there's no stress, and
Yeah, it's like when you go on a date, you have to be a stand-up comedian, James Bond, and I don't know. Yeah, and you have to be Casanova all in one.
Oh yeah, that's a very stressful thing, and that goes out like even days and months before you even go on that date. You got to go to the store, the Hot Topic, and get your jeans. And if you're a young guy, you got to go to the Hot Topic and get your jeans and the right shirt. You got to look the right way and all that.
Yeah, well, it's all what's the flavor of the month culture.
Yeah,
you know?
Flavor of the month changing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad those days are over, man. I haven't seriously, and it's by choice. Yeah. Okay, I haven't been on a date in 16 years. By choice.
By choice.
I'm 6'1". I'm not saying I'm all that, but you know, I still get women asking me out, you know, quite often, and not
that's gonna happen.
You know, not as good as Sarah Jessica Parker, but
you don't get Sarah Jessica Parker like stalking you at your door.
Yeah, man, she does look like Dee Snider and Twisted Sister.
Like banging on your door, like I do not look like Dee Snider. Yes, you do.
Yeah. Oh man, but yeah, I mean, it's a better life. It's just a much better life, and
the MGTOW life is just, man, it's just so much easier and do it.
Yep.
Get in the nature.
I miss about the East Coast. I mean, I like it out here. It's nice, but I like the East Coast, man. I like that, especially when the summer and fall and spring.
Get around to that time where it's going to start, perking up around here, and it'll be fun to go out. I suggest get yourself a pedal bike or an e-bike and pedal around. Go to the parks.
Go to the park. Get to learn about your community. It's like I feel great. You know, and it helps with for me. It helps with my blood sugar and oxygen level. You know, and get that blood flow going. It's so good for you. Like I can enjoy my meals more when I exercise because and get out in nature. Like the food tastes better. Like when you're inside all day, it's not the same. You know, it's just it's just not the same.
Oh yeah, half hour on a pedal bike or an e-bike, and your dopamine levels are off the charts, and you're much happier, easier to get along with. You're a better person, and you feel better.
Go ahead, sorry.
That's about it. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying. Also, your outlook on life is just simplified life. Yeah, like they want you bogged down. They want you bogged down with all these bills. And, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna lose my job. I'm gonna Like, who cares? When you're out in nature, who gives a shit? Nobody cares. It's like you're just going out and you're enjoying yourself. You're living. You don't overcomplicate life. That's why I never understood people that did drugs. I never could grasp it. I never could grasp it because they're just trying to escape life. I've never done a drug. And the only drug I've done is aspirin, I guess we want to call it a drug. Or I drank a little bit maybe when I was in college, but I've never done I never even smoked pot. I don't even, you know what I'm saying? like I've never done any type of, I never understood it because you hear the birds.
Hey Dave.
You hear the birds in the background? I don't know if you heard them.
Oh yeah, I just heard it.
Yeah. So it's like getting out in nature is like the high you get being in nature is like you can't duplicate it. I never understood that escaping reality type thing. Like people are just like I told my friend, like they're overcomplicating life. They're making life into a big deal, into this big deal. It's like, oh, like the whole thing about depression. It's like, listen, it's a kind of a bullshit type thing. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. I don't care. I don't give a shit if people disagree with me or not. I think depression is a bunch of bullshit. I think these people that are running the planet, whatever you call it, they introduced this thing called depression into our vernacular, whatever you want to call it, to just make people feel like they're inadequate, making people feel like,
it's just coping. It's just something for people to cope with for the manufactured stress.
Right. They're right, and then they introduce these antidepressant drugs, which are 10 times worse. Okay, right. That's why a lot of people commit suicide. It's not from the depression. It's from the side effects of the medications. And I sold pharmaceuticals, so I know that. Right. And when I was younger, I sold. I don't sell it anymore because I don't believe in that bullshit industry. But yeah, anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, you think about how that's a reciprocal program they got. The government, the authoritarians demand, you have the stress on you and the housing and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden they come up with a drug that'll cure the stress. It's a reciprocal program.
And it never does, and it doesn't do it. It doesn't cure a damn thing, and it makes them money. Most of the pharmaceutical pills are petroleum based.
Right, you have to. Oh yeah, they're made out of carbons.
Right, they're made out of pretty much waste.
Right.
So they manufacture these things. Oh, we spent all this money on R&D, and we spent billions. No, they didn't. They didn't spend that kind of money on R&D. No way.
Right.
That's and they're making tons of money. They're making tons of money on your misery.
Yeah, most people don't realize that aspirin is made out of petroleum, and it's like, well, they manipulated the carbons and the petroleum. They took the carbons out, and then from there it goes out. You have carbon chains, and then that's what you get most of your medications from.
Yeah, they manufacture all these. They manufacture problems.
Yeah,
they're the ones manufacturing all these problems. In particular, listen, I know people have mental issues. Whatever. I'm not trying to what do you call it? Minimize their problems. Okay, but at the same time, it's like you're believing their bullshit. That's what it comes down to. Don't believe their bullshit.
I would say 90% of it, more maybe. Probably 80% of the people out there that believe they're depressed and everything just never took the time to unstress their lives and, get back to nature, do something for themselves that they enjoy doing, and untangle those things and stop living like a slave. If you put yourself...
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
You put yourself in those situations, or you keep believing in this American dream, pie in the sky living, and sure, you're going to be stressed all the time because you're never going to have what everybody else has. The Christian heaven is where everybody has more money than everybody else.
Yeah, well, it's like I see these ads for these cars, like, ooh, a Tesla. Like your whole life, your problems are all going to go away if you buy this Tesla.
Yeah,
give me a freaking break.
Think that I've made it. Everybody will think better of me. No. Yeah,
it's all nonsense. It's all belief, and then I'm sorry, it's the person's fault for believing the lies. If I lose those 20 pounds, he's gonna really like me. Or if I get my hair cut this way, like Justin Bieber, the kids are gonna like me.
If I get my hair cut like Sarah Jessica Parker,
God, ugly fucking Sarah Jessica Parker, Juliette Lewis. Who's the other one we used to make fun of? There's three of them.
Oh, there's three of them. Yeah, Juliette Lewis.
Oh, it was Claire. Claire.
Oh, it's Claire. Yeah.
But all these ugly actresses, like we're taught that are good looking. Those they're ugly. Juliette Lewis is ugly.
Yeah, she's ugly.
She is ugly. Like when I was dating, I was in college. Like this is how I used to assess like a woman if I liked her. Like how you're making out abroad, and like if I got sick of making out with her, then I knew I didn't like her. Like I'm getting tired. I'm getting like we're 5-10 minutes into it. I'm like, I can't wait for this to end.
Yeah, sorry, my AIDS is flaring up.
my AIDS is flaring up. Yeah, sorry, honey, you gotta go. But I couldn't imagine making out with those two horses. Sarah Jessica Parker and Juliette Lewis. It'd be horrible. Like, get me out of this situation. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, They're selling us bullshit. That's what they do. They want us to buy their shitty products, right?
Yeah.
Just so they can like make our lives miserable, and we buy into it. We buy into it.
Yeah. A lot of that stuff. It's like living in the best apartment, living in, but all that stuff. You can live moderately and to the best of your ability and still be happy. And I think they took out the pursuit of what is it's a pursuit of happiness in our country. That's what you want to do, and you can mentally do that thing yourself, and you don't need all these people doing it for you. You don't need the government doing it for you, because they're not. They're just there. It's just more stress, more stress, more stress. But I could see in the case of the lambs, it's easier for them just to be. It's easier for them just to give in every time and pay Caesar his money, because that makes it easier. That way you don't have to argue about him being a thief.
I can't wait till I'm retired, because I'm screwing every corporation. I can't wait. I'm gonna get my credit score to 800 when I'm in my 60s, and I'm gonna liquidate, move everything around, and I'm gonna have buck, 1, 2, 300 grand credit, and I'm just giving the middle finger, and I'll be done.
You're gonna take it.
I can't get shit from me, boy.
Huh? Mortgage.
That's what rich people do, though. People don't understand. These are things rich people do.
Yeah.
That's what they do. That's how they transfer wealth. They'll run up a credit to. I'm talking a couple $100,000. They'll do millions. They'll screw their creditors going on their way out and give it to their kids and hide it and do all. That's the kind of shit they do. And we're the idiots paying our bills on time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's a big scam. Everything's a big scam. Just try to minimize that stress and, find something you like to do, whether that's diddling with things in the garage, going for a bike ride. You can work on cars. You can, everybody's got their own idea of stress relief. But, if that's like, what was it? Deshaun Watson, go see a masseuse.
I mean, how stupid can you be if you're Deshaun Watson? That shows he didn't have a mentor in his life to help him and to realize, understand women. That's why I do. That's why I like doing the podcast with you. That's why I post things online about sales. I tell these young people, I give them, because that's my profession. I try to teach these young people, but a lot of times they don't listen, so they're not going to get it. But I try to tell, you try to tell, reach as many people as you can. We say like women are a-holes. You don't hear that a lot, because they're portraying them as all unicorns and tens. She's out of your league. Did you see the size of her boobies?
Yeah. I had some advice. Deshaun Watson's legal team, if he wants to settle that.
Yeah. How much money could you have saved him?
Yeah. I would say go back and get every bill for every masseuse and see if it was an average amount.
Yeah. Well, a $150 in Vegas, you're set.
Yeah.
That's it. It's taken care of. $150 to him is like a dollar bill to us.
Yeah. The idea of that is if they're over average, then what did you pay for? And all those girls were just.
I want a refund for my massages. I could probably buy 4 houses, when I was younger. But even with that, even when I was in my 30s, I was making, $1.25 a year, but I'd spend sometimes $500 a month on massages. But okay, yeah, it's a lot of money, but I had it. But even then, that was a better play than dating, or God forbid getting married, And now I don't even go. I have the discipline now. Being a monk, I go maybe once a year, if that. I pretty much got it down to 0 times because I don't want to spend the money. And I have the discipline. And I know it doesn't. Like I was telling my buddy today, we were talking about. God, I was talking. Oh, my some friend. He's dating that crazy broad. I don't know. I told him he's 60s. He's just a little lapdog to her. And I told my friend, he didn't get the memo. Two marriages, about 20 years each. He didn't get the memo that women are a-holes. He never got it. He didn't read it or he didn't get it. It's like he's still making the same mistakes in his mid-60s. It's like, when are you going to learn?
Yeah. Yeah, you know, those are repeat offenders, and those are the guys that really bother me. The repeat offenders, and in marriage, they had one bad marriage, they're going to try again. They had two bad marriages, they had three bad marriages. At a certain point, it's your own fault. You're just doing it for what? The split V, and that's more important than anything else in the world. And there's a certain lot of stress relief in that, but you're bringing the stress on yourself with the same thing that you're taking the stress away with, and that's no way to live. Having violent sex for stress relief with your spouse is no way to live. But you know, those guys, that's what they want. You know, that's the most important thing in the world to them. And we talk about the simps and the thirsty men all the time. You know, them are things that in MGTOW we don't deal with because we can see the simps, we can see the thirsty men. They want that's all they want. That's all they think about, and that's going to provide them with a certain amount of stress. But they're willing to trade that stress off for that product, and that's craziness, I think.
That bacteria filled mucus
Mm-hmm.
between her legs.
Yeah, MLM.
I mean, just take a hot shower. My father said it right. He said, take a hot shower and lock the door
Go take
in the bathroom. That's what he said. That's what he said. How much money did that save me? Aggravation. Take a hot shower and close the door. He didn't even say, that's all he said. That's exactly what he said to me. And he was so right. And or like if you have to, go see Mimi at the massage parlor. You know, and that works. And you know, passport and a fake ID. You got to do passport now, Joe. It's international. You can't. Your driver's license doesn't work. It's now passport and a fake ID, not or passport and a flight, not 200 miles and a fake ID. We have to evolve now. You know.
Yeah, I got to get a fake passport. I had
no, don't get a fake passport. No, you just need a passport. You know, and you just fly to another country. That's better than the fake ID
you get your passport and go to another country on vacation and take care of those things and come back and never have to worry about it again. Well, unless they can try to get a passport.
Right, that's a better model. That's a practical model that works.
Yeah,
and you'll have more fun. Probably you'll have more fun with no entanglements.
But still have a fake passport when you're there. Use your real passport for traveling, and then use your fake passport for identification purposes.
Yeah, but I think people are getting a little smarter. Education's getting there. On how women are. They're not 10s. All this kind of stuff. There's no such thing as a 10. It doesn't exist. The 10 is essentially a unicorn. It doesn't exist.
It's something in your mind. Beauty is your mind looking at your mind. Whatever you perceive as a 10. That's personal to us all, and that's in your mind. And here in MGTOW, we deal with some certain delusions that we had about women, and that's one of the delusions that they're all these, the whole makeup thing, and they're all 10s, and they're all unicorns, and them things we deal with. And if you're that thirsty, then you're probably not in MGTOW. You probably never learned how to deal with those problems in your life. Like I said, the default position of the male is asexuality. You working on a car, you're at work, you're doing something, you're not thinking about. You shouldn't be thinking about those things. You're going to hurt somebody, and that's you get in touch with that default position. You can spend most of your life that way without even thinking about it. And but the simp, the thirsty guy, the PUA, they can't turn that off. That's a problem. And that's a problem for us to solve. In MGTOW, we have to explain to those guys, hey, if you can't turn that off, you can't be a part of what we are. Yeah.
Well, and like the conventional wisdom, which is not wisdom, of course, but that we get is, oh, you got problems. Oh, you need a woman in your life. She can clean for you. And we're like, no. We're like, no. Like MGTOW, that's our answer. No.
That'll cause more stress. That's conventional bartender wisdom. Just get a girl. Settle down. That'll take care of everything. No, it won't.
Well, and that's what the culture in the media is always portraying these women as as angelic beings, and in reality, yeah, exactly. They're just a
Well,
headache.
yeah,
It's a constant headache.
bacteria.
It's like, yeah, like you said, you go on a date and she's talking about her cats.
Yeah, what he's really saying is get that bacterial infection, get pumped up on oxytocins and those feel good drugs, and you might as well be doing heroin and live your life on heroin. That's because it's the same thing. If you're relying on those things to be happy, you better check yourself.
Well, my buddy made up a point because I've known this guy here about 20 years, one of my sales mentors, and but he's changed a lot in the last 7 years with this new one he has.
Yeah,
He's a guy that had 2 divorces, 17-year divorces, two marriages, and he goes, man, your friend, there's something. He came into town. He goes, your friend is off. There's something wrong with him. And I go, yeah, he's changed a lot the last 7 years with this new one. And he says, yeah, he's not that smart, is he? I go, man, he grew up in like probably the smartest city in the country, like considered, right? New York City's considered probably the top, you got to be sharp to live out there, right? And he went to school down there and everything. But he said, and then I'm like, well, you know what? Yeah, that's a personality change. That's with him being with this psycho girlfriend of his for 7 years, and how it's changed his personality.
right. There's personality changes.
Right. And I was like, wow, man, you're right. He's not as sharp as he used to be. She's slow because she berates him too. Never mind the chemistry, like with the biology of it, with the pheromones and bacteria, but just the fact that she berates him all day, 24/7, and makes him feel like a piece of garbage.
Yeah, that goes on with most relationships. You're going to get they take lead in the relationship where they think they can abuse you and say things that they wouldn't normally say, and there's the constant being pecked at the make their life better, and that gets old. It becomes very irritating to us. I remember going through it myself. You wake up in the morning, she's yap 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 from dusk to dawn. It was yap yap yap, complaining about everything. No, can't do that no more. Just live stress free. Yeah, MGTOW will help you with that because one of the best programs out there. De-stress, get men back from depression and hopelessness, and start living a decent life of happiness. And we've got a really good idea how to do this. Most of the men that come through here will tell you it's improved my life tenfold, and got it back on track. And it's a good program. And but they don't like us. They don't want us to veer from the contemporary traditionalism.
No, they want us back on the plantation, as we say.
Yeah. And they make money off of us. The male utility is a draw.
Drag us back into their drama. They think. See, that's what they do. They think it's normal. They think the drama is normal. No, it's not normal. You're an idiot. Especially as you get older, you should be maturing more and more and cutting the fat out of your life. I gave my buddy a shot. He moved out here. Let me tell you something. If he doesn't make some changes, I'm going to kick his ass out. It's like, you know what I'm saying? He's got to make some changes. I don't want any complaints. I don't like it. I told him, I said, this is a house of sanctuary. This is a peaceful house of sanctuary. You don't come here and complain. You want to bet your games and bitch? Go to the casino and be with those miserable pricks. So when you're in this house, you in this house is a peaceful place. So he's got to get his act together. But it's just don't let that drama in. Realize that you can empower yourself, right? And don't take people's bullshit. Don't let them trap you into their bullshit, because like I said, they're jealous of us. I have no doubt in my mind.
Okay. They say, okay, let me take care of this right now. I think I need a wrench. Okay. I'm gonna make.
What do you got? You got a trad cook in the house?
Yeah, I'm gonna make Hank. I just made you the moderator. I gave you a wrench.
Oh, the mean man's back in town?
Yeah, Hank the mean man. I just gave him moderation privileges. Let me give Brissy Boy moderation privileges too.
Yeah, kick these trad cucks out of there. They just don't. You got to defend the women.
Okay.
Let's defend the unicorn. Sarah Jessica Parker. Well, I love her. I have a poster of her in my room. Man. But yeah, I mean, it's listen, I had a lot of friends that I had to just let go. Just had to let them go because they just want to get you into their drama. And family as well. Yeah. Making you feel shame for MGTOW. Do that.
MGTOW is a lot like the book, The Power of Now, and Akam Tolle. And the first thing he had to do, he says, is cut a lot of these things were adding stress to his life. Those things have strings on you. So you got to cut those strings. And you're going to end up letting a lot of friends go, the simps, the white knights, the beggars. You're going to have to cut those strings because they're going to cause a whole lot of stress in your MGTOW life. But there's a certain payoff at the end of that. Before we needed people in our lives to take care of. We needed people in our lives to do the things for us that we couldn't do for ourselves, take care of that stress, and we had needed that kind of community, and people get to rely on that sort of community of support. And as a MGTOW, you don't need that kind of community support, and the stress that goes along with it too. I think in the first chapter of Walden, he talks about that, about people tend to rely on other people and then you don't take care of the problems for yourself. So we do those things, and we start cutting those strings, and I guess you would call it, people need emotional tampons when we're young and immature, and we need somebody to soak up all that stress and feelings for us. And that's why we need all these excess friends. But those excess friends sometimes are the cause of the problem, the stress, the simps, the beggars, the cackling hyenas. That them kind of men just make just so much stress in my life.
Well, it's like when you're asking a friend for advice. 9 out of 10 times they're going to give you advice that's in their best interest, not yours.
Best interest.
Yeah.
It's going to be some kind of weak ass bartender advice, just get a girl, settle down. It's like, no, that's not good advice. You have to take care of those problems for yourself. And the best thing in life is to learn how to take care of your problems on your own, how to deal with these mental issues, how to deal with stressful issues and everything on your own. And if you're relying on friends to do that for you, you're not taking care of your own problems. And that's the worst thing. And I think simps, they get into that so much that they need a woman around because they never made their bed for themselves. They never figured out how to, run their lives. They need someone to tell them what to do.
Right. That leads to something I thought, figure out what you want out of life. You know what I mean? It's like, boy, that sounds really simple, but a lot of people haven't figured that out. Figure out what you, main word, you want out of life. YOU, capital letters. What do you want out of life? Not what your mother wants or your father or whoever, What do you want out of life? And you have to think that through, and that's going to change. That's going to change over time as you mature and meet new people and learn new ideas.
Yeah.
But that's a very important concept that people need to consider. What do you want out of life? Simple,
Yeah, we learn how to take care of those problems, and that will reduce your stress levels a lot. Simply learning how to take care of your problems as they come up. Don't dwell on them. Take care of them as they come up in a timely fashion, and don't let them eat weeks and months and years off your life.
Yeah, less stress is better life for sure. And you're gonna change. You gotta run.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to shut this down. This chair is starting to bother me already, and my son just came home.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I'm just gonna close. Yeah, get ready for Easter. I wish everyone a happy Easter. I don't celebrate it myself, but hopefully you have a good Easter. And, just I always end with empowering yourself. I think that's the most important thing in life, and stop trusting these authority figures. Just because someone has a doctor, MD, or whatever, a judge, a lawyer, don't. These people don't care about you. I'm sorry, they don't. Do what's in your best interest. Learn how to trick the trickster.
Yeah.
Think about the fact that they don't really care about you. I mean, it's like, just be sharp. Be sharp in your interactions, and I think things will be fine. You'll have less stress that way as well. Stop trusting the authority.
Yeah. Okay. I want to thank everybody for coming around today. I know I made it a little short, an hour and a half. Not really short, but I made it a little short. And it's kind of busy around here now, and I gotta go take care of some things. And I want to thank each and every one of these guys for coming in, and thank most of all for being MGTOW, and have a happy Easter. Get something to eat tomorrow. Have a few beers, and whatever you do. Should be a good day tonight too. Go out, whatever you're doing, do for yourself, and have a good time, and do what you want to do, and be the best MGTOW you can. Put years on your life, and that's all I got to say. And I'm going to end this broadcast with thanks for being MGTOW. MGTOWs.